and we will get started with the opening presentation. So again, my name is Sean Boone, Director of Exhibits, and have been working on this show since 2010. In addition to myself, there is, I need to get the slides working. Sorry, give me just a moment here. There we go. So in addition to myself, there is also 3 other ladies that work with us in terms of customer service and communications. So myself and Chelsea Lear, she is in charge of exhibit operations. And then Therese Aquino, she is probably who many of you have exchanged emails with over the past several months. She is the primary contact on the T&D exhibits inbox. And then also Ashley Abels, who works with us on all of the marketing communications that is sent out. So with that, I'm going to start the short presentation. I want to talk through a couple of the show floor attractions and a couple of other highlighted items for the conference coming up, and then we'll open the floor to questions. In the meantime, please feel free to ask questions in chat. It may take us a little bit to get back to you, but I promise we will. We will answer as many questions on chat today, as well as respond with a follow-up email to everybody that was able to attend. So wonderful. Show floor attractions. For those of you that have been to T&D before, you will see down in the bottom right-hand corner, this is what this shows a picture from a previous T&D conference where we have the reception food and beverages placed out in the aisles, in those main purple aisles that are on the show floor plan. We will also have bars scattered throughout the exhibit floor during the networking reception on Wednesday, and then the food and beverage during the networking lunch or the conference lunch on Tuesday. In the upper left-hand corner, you will also, or I'm sorry, upper right-hand corner, you will also see this innovation stage. This is where we will have several different mini presentations taking place in the show floor. These presentations are delivered primarily by exhibiting companies talking about case studies and services that they offer, but really more from an educational standpoint. And those are held throughout the show. In the far right-hand corner, right here, you will see the Smart Cities Pavilion. That is brand new this year, and we are very excited to have that. We are going to be focusing on the smart cities. We have many different municipalities speaking in there, doing short TED Talk style presentations, 15 minutes to 30 minutes. 30 minutes is the longest presentation in there, and we think this will be a great area to generate excitement. We also have exhibitor meeting room complex, which is shown here. This is a few exhibitors have rented meeting rooms off the show floor to be able to have some quiet meetings, a little bit more personal interactions off the show floor. And then we have the recharge lounges. These are there's 2 on the show floor, plus 2 out in the lobby, where people will be able to go and plug in, charge up their phones, take a quick break, and then head back to visit all of the exhibitors. There are also concessions both in the hall and out in the lobby, and I will show you that on the floor plan here momentarily. This is an overview of the exhibit hall. Those of you who are familiar with, oh, you're not seeing the slides. Thank you. That could be a problem. Somebody could let me know if you're seeing the slides now. All right. So I think we're all seeing the slides now. I apologize for that. This is the overall of the facility. We are in halls E through J of the New Orleans Convention Center. And those of you that are familiar with it know that it is a relatively long and narrow exhibit hall. And from one end, Hall A, over by the Hilton, all the way to Hall J at the far right corner is approximately 1 mile. But they have, since 2019, 2020, they actually rebuilt this area here, the shuttle hub or transportation center. It actually drops off right here at the beginning of our show. We have exhibits starting from over here, going all the way over here in the blue space. And you'll see this is where the Smart Cities Pavilion is over here, and the meeting room complex here, as well as innovation stages will be up here and then over here. So we've kind of spread out different activities throughout the floor, and you will see this information on the website as well to the floor plan. This is the target move-in. So one of the things that I want to touch on today is target move-in. There has been a lot of questions about when people should have their freight arrive and what does target move-in mean. So this is just an overview of the floor plan showing the color-coded booths. This target plan is available on the website, and you can zoom in to find your own booth. I wanted you to see it here as kind of the overview. You can see all the different colors, as well as in the upper right-hand corner, you can see all of the color codes and what day and time. Please note that there is a time specific to the earlier days for the larger booths move-in. April 23rd, which is Saturday, is move-in for all linear booths. So 10 by 10, 10 by 20, 10 by 30, etc. All can have target move-ins of starting on Saturday, April 23rd. Those linear booths can continue to move in Saturday, Sunday, or Monday. Just please note all exhibitors must have their booths set by 4 p.m. on Monday. Talking a little bit about what target move-in means, this primarily applies to 20 by 20s and larger, because for the smaller booths, you can, like I said, move in Saturday through Monday. But for your target move-ins, if you have a Thursday or a Friday target move-in, if you have two choices. The first is to have your freight delivered to the advanced warehouse. That cutoff date is April 15th. And then, I'm getting a notice that there are people waiting in the lobby. So freight must be delivered to the advanced warehouse by April 14th. If you deliver to the advanced warehouse, you will have your freight delivered by Freeman to your booth by 8 a.m. on the day of your target move-in. If you choose to deliver your freight directly to the convention center, then there are a couple of tips that you need to be aware of. One, the first thing that your carriers must do is they must check in at the marshaling yard on the day of your target move-in. Depending on the time, they will then be put in line to be delivered according to your target move-in time. So if your move-in time was 8 a.m. and your driver checks in at 7, and there are 10 trucks in front of them, then those 10 trucks would go first, and you would just go in as soon as they can. There is no guarantee for on-site delivery when your freight will be delivered from the dock to your booth, as it depends on the many factors, as we mentioned, what time your driver checks in, how far back in line, and being able to access to your booth from there. A couple of tips we also suggest: if you are shipping direct, and because you don't know that time, there's no guarantee on time, you don't want to pay for labor to sit in your booth while you're waiting for your freight to be delivered, with the exception of maybe having a person there to check your electrical layouts, etc. You may want to consider scheduling your labor for the day following your target move-in and following the day your freight is delivered. Also suggest to number your crates according to the content. It helps you find things a little bit quicker, and then to attach your diagram with instructions for setup. Additionally, one of the biggest things about that is to please submit your floor plans showing your electrical and any telecommunication drops ahead of time. If you get those in advance to the convention center, they will install them prior to the carpet being installed if you order the carpet from Freeman, or if you are installing your own or having any AC install your carpet as well. As we mentioned, all linear booths are assigned a target move-in of Saturday, April 23rd. I'm going to talk a little bit about the website. I see somebody has their hand raised. I'm going to check on that. Jennifer, I am going to unmute you here for a second if you have a question about something we've already talked about. Jennifer?
Sorry, I forgot to take my hand down. I couldn't see the slides. I'll take it down.
Okay, nope, thank you for letting me know. Sorry about that. All right, so In addition to the website, for the website, there is quite a bit of information on our website. I wanted to briefly talk about some of that information. I know that it can be overwhelming, especially for exhibitors that may not have done this show in the past. Up there in the purple, you will see the links for all of the main navigation. Why exhibit at T&D, become an exhibitor, featured exhibitor, plan your exhibit, quick links, and then the rules and tips. So I have highlighted in yellow several of the areas that you may want to pay closer attention to, and we will actually touch on a few of these on the following slides. Set up your booth will have specific information on when you can access the exhibit hall, things along those lines. Rules and regulations, if you have any questions about what you can do inside your booth or other show rules, it's on that. This is a first-time exhibitor page. It gives you a lot of detailed information and a lot of links to additional information throughout the site. Exhibiting tips, exhibitor liability insurance. So going to touch on that briefly. All exhibitors are contractually obligated to supply a compliant certificate of insurance. Most companies have, there's no sound. I'm not sure, Leah. I think it's working for most. Exhibitor liability insurance, once again, it is required, and you must have, most companies have insurance policy already in place. And all you need to do is contact your broker to have the appropriate parties listed as additional insureds. That's primarily what needs to happen. And the majority of exhibitors are able to do that with no additional cost. If you cannot do that, or you do not have the availability of getting to the broker, some of the larger companies have more challenges, and then overseas companies also may have an issue. If you are unable to add us and Freeman and the Convention Center as additional insured, Rain Protection has been sending out emails, as well as we have included it in our communications, that you can order a policy through them. It's, I believe, $94 if you are moving in with the 7-day move-in. If you have the longer move-in, so you're moving in on Thursday or Friday, you will need to get the 10-day policy. So there's that information. That is required before you'll be allowed to move in. If you do not have a certificate of insurance on file with us, you're afraid you will not be able to pick up your badges to get in. So next, I'm going to go on to, this is more about the website, but this is specifically the exhibitor service manual on our website. This is if you clicked on exhibitor manual on our website, this is where you'll go to. And here you'll see some information about Freeman, and you'll have a phone number, especially for US-based companies. If you are trying to get a hold of Freeman, I recommend the phone number, and then there's a chat now feature that works really well. I know that we are used to emails, but the email is not, we have found that that's not working very well this year, and they do have an international support email address that does, but the phone number and the chat now feature is the best way to reach Freeman. In addition, on the website page, you'll find under quick links. These are some quick links to the areas that you may want to find. We talked about the target floor plan. Somebody asked about shipping labels. You can access the shipping labels that are in the exhibitor manual from right here. And then the logistics guide. That is a PowerPoint similar to this with a lot more on-site information that you can find throughout the kit, as well as to help. I would suggest you look at sharing some of those slides with your on-site staff. It covers where the office is, where concessions, the service center, things along those lines that may be able to help as well. And then over here, you will see these are all the different vendors, and these are tiles on our website with the phone numbers and contact information for our preferred vendors, including Freeman, Freeman Online, Centerplate, which is the exclusive catering provider, utilities for electrical or telecommunications. So that information is there. Freeman Online, I'm going to give you my top 2 tricks for working with Freeman Online for those of you who have not used their system very much. This is what the screen looks like. So on our page, if you clicked on this Freeman Online logo, you would go to a page that looks like this. And you can either shop the products with the pretty tiles. This will take you right in to see the pictures of the different items that you may want to order. If you are looking for information, my trick, what I typically do, just because I'm used to it, is I will look at this information here first under shop products and services. But then what I do is I typically go to the Show Information tab, and I click on Forms and Brochures. Under the Forms and Brochures, you will see tiles that look like this that you can check off, and these will open up individual PDFs. So you can see here, it's got everything from shipping and material handling to furnishings, event graphics, audiovisual, all of the information. You can check all, and you can download all, and it will, or email the files to yourselves. I find that to be a good way to have things for history and to be able to quickly find things like the marshaling yard directions or material handling rates, POV regulations. That's another big one right there. When I'm ordering my furniture, I tend to do it through that front end system of the order where I can see the pictures and order it right online. The other thing, when you're ordering your services, the discount deadline is coming up. I'm going to introduce Freeman here in a minute, and they'll be able to answer questions as well. But I believe the discount deadline is March 24th, I think. And you'll want to make sure you take advantage of that as there is significant savings. The additional savings is it's the cheapest way to order is if you order online versus sending in an email of the PDFs. Next, we're going to talk about Promote Your Booth, and I am going to introduce Rachel, who is with our marketing team, and her team has put together quite a few different options. Rachel, if you'll bear with me here just a second, I've got to find you so I can unmute your mic. All right, Rachel, can you talk now?
Hi, everybody. Nice to meet you all. Yes.
So Rachel, if you want to take just a couple of minutes to talk about, I've got this slide here, and then I'm going to show the next slide I'm going to show has all the different pictures, and you can kind of go through what those items are and how they might be able to use them.
Perfect. Yeah, absolutely. So we're super excited to have a couple different assets available for you guys to help promote your presence at the booth, get your customers there, get exactly who you want to see, making sure that they're at the event. We have been heavily promoting the event, as I'm sure that many of you have received the email communications, posting on social media, digital advertisements, print advertisements, all that good stuff. But we want to make sure that you have some assets as well so that you can promote to your audience too and make sure that they will be there as well. So we have the page on the website, Promote Your Booth, and this is where you can find pretty much everything that you would need. There is a sample HTML email where you can download the HTML file and upload that into your email service that you use. And it should be pretty seamless, easy to use. We've also provided a proposed subject line as well for you. So it's all set up and easy for you. There's an e-signature that you can add to the bottom of your emails. So if you're emailing your customers, you can simply add in an e-signature that tells your customers that you are going to be at the event and where to find you. We made it easy to add in, customize it, adding in your booth and everything. We provided some web banners, both customizable, editable banners, as well as just the standard banners too. So you can choose whether you add your booth information or just showing that you'll be at the show, and included the show logo as well. So you should have plenty to keep you busy with all of that. And then CDS has also made it easy for you to share. We added a few different options through there as well. So if you go to the Invite Customers tab on the left-hand side, you'll see all of these different options. So there is another email through there that you can enter in email addresses and send to a list of people or individual people easily. And you can customize that email as well, adding in your booth number, adding in a personalized message. They made it really nice, really easy. You can even send a test to yourself just to see what it looks like before sending it to customers. And then there's also the PDF. Oh, and it includes a promo code as well, which is awesome. And the promo code gets you a 50% discount off a 1-day exhibit only pass.
It also works on the 3-day exhibits pass as well.
Gosh,
so it's basically 50% off an exhibits only pass, exhibits plus pass, for any of your customers and clients. So we are trying to give any way that help you get your customers to come into the booth at a reduced cost, and showing that you are the one inviting them. In addition, if somebody uses that promo code to register, in your dashboard, you'll see on the screen, if you're on the registration dashboard, you'll see invited guests. So if somebody has used that promo code to register, you'll be able to see that they have registered and who they are.
Yeah.
Sorry, Rachel, didn't mean to interrupt there.
No, I appreciate the interruption and correction. So yeah, you can find that promo code here. It automatically gets populated into the email, and then there's also a PDF ticket that gets automatically populated with that information as well. So a couple different options for you. Again, the PDF ticket, you can populate all of the information, promo code, booth number, company name, print that out and distribute it if you're going to any upcoming sales calls or meetings, or if you have other events that you're going to in the next month. There is an option for that too.
Perfect. Thank you, Rachel.
Of course.
All right, so now I'm going to just give you a brief update on the health and safety. The mask mandate has been lifted in the city of New Orleans. So masks are not required indoors. They are still required on public transportation. As I mentioned at the beginning of this call, I was actually in New Orleans this week. They have said that they are expecting an update on the restrictions to come next week. So by next week, we're hoping to hear even more positive news, where there may be a change in the vaccine or the negative test requirements, but we do not know anything at this time. We are currently still moving forward with the understanding that you must have either proof of vaccination or a negative antigen test taken within 72 hours. We will update everybody as soon as we hear any changes to that policy. Again, it was lifted on March 3rd for the mask mandates, and we hope to have another update next week. All right, so that took a little bit longer than I hoped. Sorry about that. I hope the information was good for everybody, but now we are going to open it up for questions. So if you have a question, please feel free to enter it into chat, or you may also raise your hand and I will unmute the mics. I did just see that somebody had a question about the masks indoors at the center. And no, we do not. Masks will not be required inside the convention center. That lifted on March 3rd. So hopefully, one other thing I should probably point out, on our website, there is a page of the Plan Your Exhibit page. If you click on the Plan Your Exhibit page, there is a communications archive. So every time we send out an e-blast, you will be able to see that history there, to be able to go all the way back through space selection and see what communications have been sent out to everybody. So hopefully that helps as well. I know some people, spam blockers are getting harder and harder to get through, so there is some of those challenges. So we try to keep everybody on the same page. All right. Chelsea, are you unmuted? Are you unmuted? Can you talk? Guessing that's a no. I'm going to unmute her, so in case she has seen any questions, that she can jump in and answer or ask at the same time, and we can go from there as well.
Hi everyone, I'm here.
Okay. So I think, Lisa, your question about when you send a customer an invitation, do they have to pay the full conference registration? If they are registering for the conference, yes, there is not a discount for conference registration. It is just for the expo only. Alexa, you had a question about shipping and where do you ship to? You have the option of either the advanced warehouse if you're shipping between now. I believe it's the 21st, and that's a great time to turn it over and introduce Gemma. She is with Freeman. In case you have any Freeman questions, I'm going to make sure she can talk. Actually, I think I might have lost her. I'm not seeing.
I do believe, Sean, that there are a few people waiting to be let in as well. They're in the lobby.
Okay, I'm not seeing that on my end, but let's see if I can. Not showing me anybody in the lobby, so I will have to. We'll come back. So you can ship directly to the convention center, or you can ship to the advanced warehouse. If you ship to the advanced warehouse, your freight will be delivered to your booth the morning by 8 a.m. on the morning of your target move-in. If you ship directly to the show site, it will depend on your place in line and what time your target move-in is and things along those lines. So there's no guarantee on that. Let's see. Chris Hune, I think you had a question. I'm going to let you speak. Chris, are you still there? Do you still have a question? Rachel Shipton?
Great, there we go. Can you hear me now?
Oh, Chris, yes, I can hear you.
Yes. Okay, sorry. And you may have just answered that. I think I was just trying to get some clarity. So as long as, I know we have a 20 by 20 booth, but we don't have to be on site to unpack it by the 23rd. We just need to know that on the 23rd is when our materials are going to arrive if we're shipping in direct through Freeman, correct?
Yes, if you're shipping direct through Freeman, with shipping through Freeman, you'd be able to work out your actual delivery date based with working with them. But if that's your target move-in, that's when you should schedule your freight for delivery. Yes.
Okay, but
then you do not have to be there.
Okay.
The only time we really encourage, you're obviously welcome to be there at your target move-in. The only time that it is strongly encouraged to have somebody there for when your freight's being delivered is if you have a large piece of machinery or something that has to be placed exactly in a certain location. If you are not there, it gets dropped wherever the forklift driver puts it, and then you would have to pay a fee to have somebody come over and move it with a forklift. That would just be a forklift cost.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
but if you don't have that, then no, you do not have to be there, and we encourage you not to order labor for right at your target move-in time either.
Okay, very good. That clarifies it for me. Thank you.
Thank you. Rachel Shipton?
Hi, good afternoon. I just have a quick question about the negative test. If someone isn't vaccinated, do the at-home tests qualify, or does it need to come from a different facility?
So my understanding, and that is the current, you have to have the official negative. It's not like you can just say I took the negative test, so there's nothing official about that. You'd have to be able to show the official results. So no, you would have to go in someplace and have an official test done where they will give you the official authorized certified results.
Okay, so like one of my colleagues could get a CVS drive-through clinic and get a test, and that would qualify?
If not if he's getting the test at CVS and they're giving him official results, yes, an antigen test. If he is getting the box at CVS and taking it home, no.
Okay, thank you. That answers my question. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Like I said, we are still hopeful that will change in the next 7 to 10 days.
Okay.
But we will let you know if it does.
So we will get an official email with that information?
Yes, as soon as we get an update, official word from New Orleans, we will send that out.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Miranda? Miranda Schultz?
Hi, thank you. I just wanted to confirm on the target move-in date. I know you said the 23rd for the linear booths through the 25th. And can you confirm that's till 4 p.m. that day?
Yes, your booth has to be set by 4 p.m. So if you have any wooden crates, you're supposed to have your wood because of the clean floor policy. Any wooden crates are supposed to be off the floor by 10 a.m. on Monday, but fiber cases and cardboard boxes will be moving throughout the day.
Okay.
If we have any, so you'll be able to continue working. We just have to start getting all of those empties off the floor.
Okay. Thank you. I just wanted to make sure we had till 4 p.m. on Monday. So
Yes,
thank you. I
absolutely.
appreciate that.
Sure. In addition to that, just to clarify that clean floor policy that I just mentioned, because of the huge number of crates we have on the show floor, we do have the clean floor policy in place. That information is on our website on the setup information page that I was pointing out earlier. It talks about if your target date is on the 23rd, then you have to have your crates marked empty by a certain date and certain time, as that way we then allow, because the larger booths, those crates tend to surround their booth while you're setting up yours, but then they end up blocking the booths for the smaller companies that come in next to you. So by the time their move-in starts, we need to start having some of those empties off the floor so they can access their booths. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, Stephen Toyama. Stephen?
Hello, thank you for your time. So if we ask Freeman to deliver to the warehouse, they will bring it to the booth automatically on the move-in date. And
Correct.
Do we need to order a crew to set up the booth online, or is that included?
So labor to set your booth is not included unless you did a custom booth order from Freeman. If you're shipping in your materials to Freeman, Freeman will automatically deliver your freight. That's part of material handling. So your shipping is one piece. So if you're shipping through Freeman will deliver it to, like, as you choose, either direct to show site or to the advanced warehouse. Regardless of that, material handling is automatically included. When they receive it as the material handling provider, they will then deliver your crates, boxes, cases, all of that to your booth by 8 a.m. on the morning of your target move-in, so that it's all there for you. But yes, you would have to then order labor to actually set your booth.
Sorry, which is the icon to order the labor on this website?
So you would order that through Freeman directly, so Freeman Online. So when, I'm going to see if I can go. So when you're on this page here,
Okay.
it's actually, I think it's down below. You can't actually, there's more tabs and you can also go left and right, but there is a labor ordering service on here that you can order labor. And then you can also use that phone or email that we were talking about right here, or chat now. The phone number is here, and the chat now feature to make sure that you get everything that you need.
Okay, so that will be after the move-in, including the move-in date.
I would encourage you to talk to Freeman and work with them directly on what your labor needs to be.
Okay, thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you. Lauren?
Is the address on there or where we ship the stuff to? Diane was asking that.
So sorry, I hadn't gotten your mic mute. So I heard about the address. So there are the shipping labels right here on our site under the exhibitor manual page. There are the shipping labels. Lauren, do you still have some questions? Nope, Lauren, I think I just unmuted you. Can you try again?
Can you hear me?
We can hear you now. Thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you. My question was also regarding the vaccine requirements. Do you know if and I can look this up obviously, but do you know if there's any news on indoor eating or anything like that regarding the negative tests or vaccine? And then also, are you all doing anything on site to help get those tests in a timely manner? Because some of us will be getting there quite early, and 72 hours would mean a test.
Yes. Yes. So we have been talking about that. We do not have a firm plan in place because we still anticipate there to be changes coming up.
Right.
But we will at very minimum have a list of places nearby. I know when I was there, I saw across the street from the convention center, there is actually a testing facility as well. So there are several options within easy walking distance. And if that is still a requirement, we will be able to provide you a list with some options. I would encourage you, if that is still in place, to make appointments whenever possible. Usually, I actually had to do it myself when I was in San Francisco for a meeting, and I went on to one of the sites, booked an appointment over my phone, and I took an Uber over and just did the test. It's having that we will have the list available for you if that is still in place. Yes, it is a New Orleans requirement, so they do require you show either proof of vaccination or the negative test results before you get seated at a restaurant.
And as a follow-up, are the EACs required to provide proof of vaccination or a test
Yes.
for setup? Okay.
So labor is so at this point, everybody that goes into the convention center is required to show. So all of the Freeman labor has to show the proof of vaccination or negative tests, all of that as they check in.
Thank you.
Absolutely. I think that I got everybody. Chris, your hand is still raised, so I'm not sure if you still have a question. I'm going to unmute just in case. Chris, did you have another question?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. All right, now let's go over to the chat and let's make sure that we've answered questions through there. I know Chelsea has been answering quite a few as we go along, but let's make sure we get there.
So Sean, I think a few of the ones we have left. Let's see. So one from Wendy says, for POV, do you get your pass from the marshaling yard or at the back at the docks?
So I'm going to have to write that one down because, to be honest, I'm not sure. And for some reason, I think Gemma was unable to join us. I'm not showing her on the list to be able to unmute. So I will follow up. Chelsea, if you can just make sure you know who asked that question, we can follow up with a general email, but make sure we get back to them directly. Typically, there you would get the pass at a dock entrance, but I'm not 100% sure.
Okay, so I think I'm not sure. This was a question from Chris, so I'm not sure if this has been answered. Question is, can Advanced Warehouse accept multiple shipments with different ship dates and deliver all items to the booth together?
Yes. So what they will do, they may not be delivered, all at the same time, because it depends on when they were delivered to the Freeman warehouse. They may end up in different areas being stored, but they will bring everything over together by your target date and time, regardless of how many shipments they actually receive.
Okay.
No, I see the question about extra, and there is not. It's just part of material handling. Whether you are having your shipment delivered to the advanced warehouse or to direct-to-show site, there is the material handling charges. What those charges include is the acceptance of your freight either at the warehouse or show site, the delivery to your booth, the storage of any empty cartons or crates during the show, delivery of those empties back to your booth at the end of the show, and loading onto the carrier of your choice after you're packed up and ready to go. You would have to fill out what's called a bill of lading for move out, telling them what carrier you're going to have and all of that. You are also responsible for making the arrangements with your carriers for both the delivery of your freight, shipping of your freight into the show and then back out of the show. So you will want to make sure you pay attention to those deadlines and carrier pickup times. For example, on move out, I believe the carrier pickup time is 8 a.m. on Saturday morning. Your carrier has to check in to pick up your freight. Most people have all of their freight ready sometime on Friday for pickup, but your carrier has till 8 a.m. on Saturday morning to check in and to have everything loaded out that day. If they do not check in, then Freeman will make arrangements through their own carrier to have your freight delivered. Question was asked about what happens if shipments arrive early to the show venue or after the 20th. So We don't accept the freight until Thursday the 21st for target move-in, if that is your target move-in date. There will not be somebody at the convention center to accept your freight. So most likely, if you try to deliver freight, if a carrier shows up on the 19th, most likely it will be refused and turned away, and your carrier will have to redeliver a different time when we are open. Rachel, you asked about your 20 by 30 booth move-in on the 23rd. I believe your move-in would be before that, but that is specific to each company because it's all based on your size and location. So no, a 20 by 30 would definitely be either would probably be the 22nd. I just don't know what time on the 22nd, but you can find that online on that Target floor plan. So the question about do you have to purchase material handling through Freeman? Material handling is I just went through what material handling is. That is an exclusive service, so Freeman is the only company that can provide that service. Do you have to order labor if you're ordering carpet? No. Carpet, if you're ordering carpet, the labor to install that carpet is automatically included in the cost of the carpet rental. Sarah, the Target move-in map, there is actually a redirect, IEEE PES-T&D.org/target will take you directly to the Target move-in map. It's also available on the ESM page that you can see here, a screenshot of it here, where you'll see Target floor plan. When will hotel reservations be released to the hotel directly? They get released directly to the hotels in early April. I don't know that exact date, and I think it depends on which hotel. They have different dates. Do I expect any holds to be released and more rooms come available? That may happen. I know that actually hotel pickup is going extremely well. We are over our numbers from 2020 pre-cancellation, and there are some hotels that may have some flexibility, and we still have hotels that have rooms. So I know that there are still rooms available. I just don't know some hotels are sold out. Our team has not received copies of their registration through the email option inside the exhibitor console. So it depends on how you have registered your booth staff for Misty. The booth staff registration, when you go in and register for exhibitor badges, it's a group badge process. So you're able to register multiple people at one time. The individuals do not automatically receive a confirmation. So they would, if you didn't click the buttons to have them sent, it wouldn't have automatically done that. You have the option in the roster on the exhibitor badge portal to click the little envelope next to their name and send each person individually a confirmation, or to also there's check boxes where you can click to send all at one time. So those are both options. The envelope didn't work. Misty, I will have to get back to you directly because I just did it today for somebody else. You might check to make sure that the email for that person is entered correctly. And we can try that. There's also IEEE at ExpressReg, and I'll type this into customer service for badges, has a direct email address, and they can help you, and they can send it themselves as well. Schedule events for the innovation stage. What if I need more than my allotted number of booth personnel? You can actually register as many people as booth personnel as you would like. It is 70 once you go over your allotment. So once you go over your allotment for exhibitor badges, it is $70 per person, and that is for all 3 days. So it's a very reasonable rate considering that they're going to have their lunch on Tuesday, the opening reception on Monday night, and then the networking reception on Wednesday. So it covers all 3 days for that $70. Innovation stage events. So yes, on our website, if you go to IEEE T-D.org, I'll put that in there as well, /technical program. That is where you will see the actual, all of the events, all of the sessions, and you can search by track, and the innovation stage is one of those tracks that you can search.
I believe, Sean, that there was a question earlier from a few folks regarding if an attendee list is going to be distributed.
Oh, great, thank you. So the attendee list is not included with your booth, but you can order it. We keep the price very reasonable. It is $300 for a pre-show attendee list. It is not available. You can pre-order it now. So on the website page here for the exhibitor manual, this attendee lists and e-blasts, you can click right there to get that or to order it, and then they will send you a link to download the list on March 29th. The reason it's not available for download now is the majority of attendees will not register until 2 to 4 weeks prior to the conference. So we tried to hold that list back as much as possible, because when you purchase the list, it is available for download one time. The e-blast piece on that as well. So the attendee list is a mailing list. It does not include phone numbers or email address. With all the GDPR rules, we do not share that. We do not sell it. I think somebody did have a point earlier about all of the spams emails you might be getting from buy the attendee list for this show. And a lot of times it is the same exact language from the same exact person. They just insert a different show name. Those are typically database companies that are just trying to sell you a database of names that there is no way of knowing how old they are. I can guarantee you it is not an attendee list or a registration list from the conference. IEEE is the only group that has that, besides the vendors that are only reaching out to you to try to help you make sure you have the items for your booth. We do not share the email lists with anybody else, but you can order an e-blast that is actually sent out through our registration company, where you can either use a template from them and just make slight tweaks, or you can upload your own custom HTML, and then that can be targeted to either specific demographics for the attendee lists, or you may choose to have it sent to all. Return shipping, how does return shipping work? You would need to arrange for your own carrier, or Freeman also has their own carriers that you can choose to use that will automatically be on site, or you can choose to work through somebody else. There is a FedEx office right across the street and a UPS store inside the convention center. If you have small items that you want to ship out, or a fiber case, and you want to just walk it over to one of those locations, you can. Please note, you would have to take your items off the floor and deliver it to them to do that kind of shipping. They will not come on the floor to get your stuff. Where to invite customers with the discount. So in the booth registration, and I apologize, I'm not sure which way to go. That is this way then, I think. When you are in your badge registration portal, when you register your staff, you're logged in, you can click on this invite customers, and it will give you all of these different options about how to distribute your promo code, being able to send out an individual email to somebody. You also have the option to upload your own list. So I don't think we talked about this earlier, but through the CDS system at no charge to you, if you have an email list that you would like to upload into this system to send out a customized invitation with the show graphics, you may absolutely do that. Please note, we will never have access to your list. It is a one-time upload and list send, and nobody sees that list. What happens if shipments come too early to the show? So if they come before the 21st, they would most likely, and direct to show site, they will most likely be refused at the dock, because there will not be anybody there to receive the freight. And then you would have to work with your carrier to have it redelivered, or have it delivered over to the advanced warehouse. If it comes after the 21st, so say your target move-in is the 23rd of April and your freight arrives on the 21st, It will be received by Freeman. Freeman will not, but the driver will have to wait in line because it would be the last truck offloaded. But then it would be offloaded and received. You just would be you'd have an off-target charge for having your freight delivered on the wrong day. All right, I think we made it through all the questions. We still have time if you have some more, if people want to either raise their hand or add more to chat. I think we were able to get through all the questions. I really hope that we were able to answer everybody's questions and that you're finding this webinar helpful. We did one last week, we did one this week. We don't have any more scheduled right now, but if you think it's helpful, we are definitely open to adding them. Our goal is really just to serve what you need. Chelsea, I am going to see if I can unmute you. It seems like you have a question. And the other question I did see was, will we share this presentation? Yes. Most of this information is available through the logistics guide, but we will also share the presentation as well.
So I believe
I'm sorry, Chelsea, Subnet, I believe. Chelsea was Subnet. I think I just got you unmuted, so if you can start over. Chelsea?
Well, this is Chelsea Lear. I was going to read Chelsea, the other Chelsea's question.
Okay, sorry, I didn't see it in chat, so I thought you. Okay, go ahead.
So her question is, for independent shippers on the 23rd of April, what is the move-in time? 7 a.m. or 8 a.m. at the marshaling area?
So you may check in at 7, but they don't officially start delivering freight until 8.
Perfect. And then another question from Leah says, when is the expected delivery time for the 23rd? What would happen if shipments arrived earlier than said time?
So the marshaling yard is scheduled to open at 7. That is when the drivers can check in, and then freight starts being delivered at 8 a.m. and it will just be delivered in the order it was that the drivers checked in. I'm not sure if that answered that question.
And I believe that is all the questions that we have. We will be sharing this recording, Sean, correct?
Correct. We will share the recording, yes. And I'll be honest, if I don't know how to do it, but I'm sure there's a way to download all of the chat questions and answers, we will work on that as well. Okay, well, if there's nothing else, we'll let everybody go back to their days. We know that everybody is very busy. Thank you again for your time. We really do appreciate your joining us, and we appreciate your support of the show. We are looking forward to be back in person, and we will keep the information coming as more information becomes available. Chelsea, you have questions. I see electrical. That does not sound correct, what you're saying about electrical. You have your own electrical cables that you run under the carpeting. That is against the policies. So I would have to get that in writing from the convention center. I personally don't care, but I know that that is typically against all the safety guidelines where you're running your own equipment. But I don't have any objection to it. I just have to get that in writing from them. So I can follow up with them as well offline with you to make sure that we're all on the same page. Okay, anybody else? I'll hang out here until everybody leaves, just in case somebody else has a question. But thank you again for your time, and we will put this out there. We'll have it out on the website and send an email out to all of the participants early next week. Maria, I see you just popped up your hand. Yes, Maria. not hearing you, Maria.
I'm sorry about that.
There you go.
Real quick, we will have access to plugs, right? I know we'll be providing our own extension plugs, but the outlets, I should say.
Electric is not included. You will need to order electric from the convention center.
Okay. Okay. It's a good thing I asked. Thank God. Okay.
Yeah,
Good.
so nothing is, so the booth space does not have any carpet, tables, chairs, waste baskets, electric, any of that. We do have Wi-Fi available for checking emails, but it is not quote unquote high-speed Wi-Fi. I would not rely on it for running any demos in your booth or doing any streaming, but it will
Okay.
work for checking emails.
Okay. Thank you for everything. This was great.
Oh,
I'm
good.
glad I didn't miss it. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Great job.
Thank you. You have a wonderful weekend.
Thanks, you too.
Thank you again, everybody. Have a wonderful weekend, and we will see you in just a few short weeks.